Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to edit using CapCut Pro, which is a really cool editing program. And first off, disclaimer, there are two versions of this app. You have the free version and then you have the Pro version. So you have CapCut and you have CapCut Pro. I am going to be using the Pro version because that's the one that I have. But yeah, the free version, it's basically the same thing with limitations. It only does 30 seconds of video, which actually makes it bad for most people and most cases. But I don't think CapCut Pro is that expensive for what you can do with it. And this was my main video editing program for a long time. I use it alongside iMovie. I just liked iMovie's trimming and splitting more, but this was great for adding effects and just doing other things with editing, more creative things. But yeah, iMovie was just better again at the interface was just easier to use. Let's leave it at that. But I'm going to show you guys how to use CapCut Pro to edit videos and all the things you can use within CapCut Pro. So all the effects you can add, all the tools that it has, etc. Now, I think CapCut Pro is due for a big update. It's looked the same for a few years now, and it's just been the same for a long time. It's actually getting behind the times. I think I would prefer iMovie nowadays to CapCut Pro, but CapCut Pro then has other features that iMovie lacks in. That's why I think those two work together great. In certain areas, each one is strongest. Okay, so let's get started. That's enough of me rambling. So let's get into CapCut Pro and I'll show you guys how to create a project. Okay, so it always has all these help things. No matter how long you've had the app, it still brings them up. So here you can just see the info. It's version 1.8.10. Yeah, as you can see, the interface just looks really old. I don't know how to explain it. Some fonts that they use, it just looks really old. But then again, it still works great. So let's get started. To create a project, you click on this plus button here. And then you can just name your videos or your project. So I'm just going to say tutorial. And then you want to click on create. And then you have all these settings that you need to adjust. Now, I think the resolution you can save just like it. If you don't want 16:9, which is the normal YouTube video size, you can have a square video as well. Maybe if you're editing something for Instagram, the square one would maybe work best for you. Then you have orientation. So you have landscape or portrait. Again, portrait might work best for Instagram stories or Instagram TV. So it just depends on what kind of project you're creating. And then video, here you have background color. I don't really think this matters that much if you're going to put videos over your background anyway. And then you have frame rate, which I think 30 is a safe number. And then this fixed cover image can display cover image in movies page. I have absolutely no idea what it actually does, so we're just going to leave it off. Then you're going to click done here at the top right. And it's going to bring you into this area here. So this is your entire timeline. Now, let's just first import a video so we can get the gist of what it looks like with the project. So to import a video, you want to click on this plus button here and say video, or you can say photo as well. It just depends on what you want to edit. So I'm going to say video, and I'm going to import this short 5-second video. And then you want to say choose. So this is the video that I have here now. So as you can see, this is a short video. It's only 5 seconds. So it's really cramped into the timeline. But you can expand the timeline. So what that means is if I use 2 fingers and drag them away from each other on my screen, you'll see the timeline gets bigger. So that just means the difference between the size in the timeline between a second is bigger. So here you can see 5 seconds now takes up this much of the timeline. Here you can see the 5-second stamp. So this helps a lot if you're working with short clips and you want to get into it and get some detail. This works great for that. But yeah, so now we have our video imported here. And what we want to do now is we want to edit some things in this video. So what do you want to do to edit this video more? So you want to double tap on the video here. So just double tap. And then once you've double tapped, you'll see you have this menu that comes up here at the bottom. Now, what you can do here is the main thing you probably want to do with videos is split them. So you do just drag to where you want to split the video and click on this scissor icon, and then you've split the video. Let's double tap on this clip. You can also now maybe delete the clip, or you have some more options here, as you can see. So let's go through each and every one of these things that you can use so you know what every one is. Now, if you're still wondering while using the app, you can long press on one of these icons in order to see what it does. So this is add/edit transitions. If I long press on the volume one here, it says volume. So it does, if you long press on the icon, it does show what it is for. But yeah, let's go to transitions here. Now within transitions, you have a bunch of options. So you have this plus button here, which says what you want to do with your transition. So you can have it fade in and then fade out, etc. They have so many transitions here. Or you can add a custom transition, which works it's kind of hard to explain, but I'll try my best to show you guys. So here you can see it does bring up this thing to explain basically what you do. So it says drag start point or end point. You can adjust the range of the transition, tap start point or end point, then apply properties to it by tool buttons. You can customize the transition conveniently. Okay, so that just doesn't explain it really well. So basically what this means, so I have my video that's gonna become a transition now. So what you do with this is basically say I want for this duration that it's set to, you can shorten it as well by dragging these arrows. So say for this duration of this clip, I want the clip to transform like so. And then once I have that, I can click on the plus button and say custom transition. I'll just shorten that. And then for this duration, I want it to go like this, plus custom transition. For this duration, I want it to go like this, and then the plus button again, custom transition. And for this duration, I want it to go back to normal, let's say like so. Okay, I think it's a little zoomed in, but that's okay too. So yeah, that's basically how you create a custom transition. Now let's play this back and see what that looks like. So I'm just going to drag my thing here and click play. So this is what happens, and that's how you create a custom transition. So it's actually really easy. So you basically just, let me delete all these transitions so I can quickly show you guys again precisely what you need to do. So drag this thing to wherever you want your transition to start. Click on the plus button and click on custom transition. Drag to which point it has to do that transition. Basically, if you make this longer, it's going to take a longer time to do that transition. So I'm just going to set it to not so long. And then you do whatever you want your transition to do. So make it or tilt it or make it smaller maybe. So then it's going to do both of those things in that transition. It's going to tilt it and make it smaller. And then if you want to add another thing, you click on the plus button again and click on custom transition, and then make it bigger and maybe make it go back to the normal size. And that's it. Then if you're done, you just click on this back button here, and then you can view your transition like so. So I think this just really opens up a new door in editing. If you're someone who likes creating edits and things like that, this app is better for that, since iMovie does not have a lot of transitions. It doesn't have a lot of things to add text. We'll get into text a little later, but yeah, this is where CapCut Pro wins and gets its own point for just the amount of things you can do with creativity on this app. It's not just straight to the point. Okay, so yeah, this was transitions. Then you have volume, which you can just, make it the volume lower or higher. Then we have this sunshine button here, which is the transparency, so you can make it more transparent. Other word for this is the opacity, if you're more familiar with that term. Then you can slow your video down or speed it up by going here. You can also crop your video by selecting that tool. So here you can see you're now able to crop your video. I'm not going to do that, but you can. Then what you can also do here is you can add like color effects. So here you can adjust the saturation, the brightness, the contrast. You can do basically all your color corrections here. So if I want to make this super weird, I can do that. And then I can also click on save and save that as a preset. So I'm just going to call this preset. So basically, if I have another clip, say I want to use this first clip and also apply the same filter to it. So say I want to apply it to this clip. So I can go here to the color correction and click on this load here. Then you see all these, and then you see preset, which is the one that I saved. And then it's just going to make it look exactly the same. So you don't have to apply all those things every single time. You can just create a preset for all your clips. Now, this is the worst kind of clip I've ever made, but you get the gist of how it works. I'm just going to quickly remove the preset from these clips because it looks hideous. Okay, so now let's move on from that. So here you can see you can add a border around your video, and you can also just adjust the color of the border. So say you wanted to have a red border or something like that, you can do that here. And if you have a small border or maybe a big one, you can see the edges are quite sharp, but then you can click on here and then you can round the corners. So say I'll go all the way, it's pretty round, then I can make it less round. So yeah, that's how you round the corners. Then here we have adding a shadow to your video. So let's add a shadow, which you can. Shadows mostly work with overlay, so I'm going to show you that when I add an image overlay. Then you can also rotate your video and flip it horizontally or vertically. Then this eye here is a snapshot. So it's basically kind of like a screenshot of your video here. So yeah, you just click that and then it will take a snapshot of your video. Okay, so that's everything within the deeper editing of a video clip. Now let's click on this plus button here. I just want to quickly delete this video. It looks awful. Then I'm going to click on the plus button here and I'm going to add a photo. Okay, so say I have this photo here. I can rotate it by tapping. You see these round circles? Those are for the rotating. So you just use your finger to rotate it. So you use the white circles for those, and you pinch with your fingers to make it bigger or smaller. So if you were wondering about that, that's how you rotate and resize. So yeah, I've added this photo over my video, and now I'm gonna go into the deeper editing again. Like, we have all these tools at the bottom. Let me quickly show you guys now the shadow option here. So let's create a shadow, and we can here select how the shadow should look. So we can make it like so and like so, and then you can see it has a shadow around it. I hope you guys understand what I mean. So yeah, that's how you add a shadow. You can also create like the opacity by going here. You set the opacity of how clear the shadow should be, or if how blurry it should be. I recommend it kind of in the middle, not totally too harsh, but not too opacity that you can't even see it. So yeah, somewhere around here is a good amount, I think. And then you can also do all the exact same things. You can also do a transition then with this image here. So what I've done to show you guys an example of adding transitions to an overlay, I've moved this video out of the view of my screen. Then I'm going to click on the plus button and click on custom transition. As you can see, it's here, and then I'm going to drag it to here. And then let's play this to see what it looks like. as you can see, then it moves in. So that's basically how you add a transition where it moves in, but in your custom way. So yeah, you can add custom transitions for overlays as well, and this is where it really gets fun with playing around. You can also add text to your video and then do the exact same thing. So I'm just going to type hello, click on done. And then within text, you have different styling options. So you have transitions again, so you can again create a cool custom transition using text and make it move around a lot. Then you have all your other settings here. So you have your transparency again, and this is the main tool for like just selecting what you want to type. And then you can go here to these tools here, these three. So this one here, you can select the text size, so make it bigger or smaller, and then select the color. So if I want to make it a bright orange, and then you have this F here, which stands for font. So here you can see all the fonts that it has pre-uploaded, and then you can also import your own fonts. They do have a way to show you how to install fonts. This is something that not a lot of video editors do, and I think this is something that really helps a lot if you can import your own favorite fonts into an editing program. So yeah, you can play around with all of these fonts that they have or introduce your own ones. And then lastly, we have this kind of A here, and this is to add a border around your text. So yeah, this is what it looks like. And then you have all the other things, so you can add shadows to your text as well, which always looks really cool with text. So you can move this thing around here as well and select that. So that's basically what you do with text. All these tools for every single type of file, so video, photo, and text, have about the same things. Like all the transitions work the same, all the other things work the same. Text I think is more versatile because you have now fonts and whatnot, but yeah, all of these work exactly the same. If you're wondering, this button here is to create a duplicate of that which you've already created. So you can just create a duplicate of this. This is the duplicate. And if you're done, you just click on this correction mark. Next up, we're going to click on this plus button again here, and then we're going to click on self-draw. And then basically we can draw on our video if we want to. Then you have all these options here to play around with. You can just select maybe a circle and add a circle. Okay, that's more of an oval, but you get what I mean. And yeah, you can draw over your video if that's something that you want to do. Okay, now what you can do, click on the plus button, and we're going to click on music. Now they have music here, not a lot, but they only have like these few. But you can also import other things from your music library if you have any songs, or you can add in files on your iCloud with file sharing, whatnot. So yeah, they don't have a lot, but you can have some. And then they also have sound effects here, which they have quite a lot of. So you can play around with the sound effects as well. Then here on the plus button, and then you click on voice. And this is to create a voiceover. So you can see I'm talking over my video, blah, blah, blah. And then click on stop. And then this is my voiceover. So yeah, it's actually pretty simple and self-explanatory, this app. It's not very complicated at all. Basically, you just double tap on each one to edit within it. And if you want to drag something, you just long press on it until it goes this yellow color, and then you can move it around, whatnot. You can't add like text to a photo layer. You can just only move it around, or you can delete it by just dragging it to this garbage bin here and click on remove. So yeah, that's basically it for CapCut Pro. It's a really simple and easy to use app. And like I said, this alongside iMovie, you cannot go wrong. This is more for creating transitions and things like that, and iMovie is just for the plain editing. Sadly, CapCut Pro does not have an option for green screens. I hope they will get one soon, but luckily iMovie now has green screens. I'll have a video explaining how to use green screens in iMovie linked in the eye up top. But yeah, so CapCut Pro does not have that option, sadly. But okay, so once you've finished your entire project and you're happy with how your thing looks, so this is basically our thing that we've just created, you want to click on this button here and you want to say export to album, and then you want to set the quality however high it should be. Best is 1080p, and then it exports to your video, and then you've got it. So yeah, I hope this video helped you guys understand how to edit using CapCut Pro, and now you can use this app for your creativity needs. I really hope you guys found this helpful, and I hope this video wasn't too all over the place. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on CapCut Pro and what you wish it had, features that you find are lacking in CapCut Pro. Definitely subscribe by clicking on the icon on the screen. Click on the playlist to see all of my other YouTube tips and tricks videos. So it's other like tutorials and things like this for you guys who create content. And click on the video to my previously uploaded video. Love you guys so much. Be weird and be proud of it. Bye.